It's the kind of heartbreak that echoes beyond the camera flashes and the red carpets, the kind that turns smiles into silence. Dylan Wang, the charismatic star who stole hearts worldwide in Meteor Garden, has found himself at the center of a whirlwind of emotions and speculation. And now, with shocking revelations from someone closer to him than any tabloid could ever get, his sister, the truth about his heartbreak over Shen has finally come to light. Before we dive into the full emotional unraveling of this love story turned heartbreak, don't forget to subscribe and stay updated on all the hidden stories behind your favorite stars. This one, you don't want to miss. For years, fans have speculated about the undeniable chemistry between Dylan Wang and Shen. Ever since Meteor Garden hit screens, their bond was more than just a scripted romance. It was magnetic. It was raw. It felt real. The playful teasing during interviews, the glances when they thought no one was watching, the subtle touches that lingered a second too long, it was enough to make fans believe that what we saw on screen had seeped into real life. Behind the scenes, insiders whispered that there was something more. The way Dylan looked at Shen when she laughed. The way he went quiet when someone else flirted with her on set. These weren't rehearsed. These weren't scripted. They were real moments, heartfelt, unscripted, and now, painfully revealed. But fame is not kind to young love. With their careers skyrocketing, the pressures of public scrutiny, and their demanding schedules, something had to give. And, heartbreakingly, it did. It was Dylan's sister, usually quiet and reserved, who broke the silence. In an emotional interview that left fans stunned, she opened up about the toll a separation from Shen took on her brother. With a trembling voice, she said, "He didn't just act like he loved her. He really did. And when things ended, he was devastated." These were not the words of a PR manager or a scripted talk show. These were the raw confessions of someone who watched Dylan retreat into himself. Someone who held him when the camera stopped rolling, when the lights were off, and when the only thing echoing in the room was the sound of a breaking heart. He used to talk about her all the time, his sister shared, eyes glistening. Even after their last shoot together, he'd still find excuses to bring her up. He'd laugh at memories they made, play old videos they filmed together on his phone. It wasn't just admiration. It was love. Deep, sincere love. And then came the silence. According to her, there was a shift, one that didn't happen overnight but crept in slowly, like fog after midnight. He stopped talking about her. He deleted photos. He wouldn't even watch Meteor Garden reruns anymore. That's when I knew, something had happened. Something that really hurt him. Speculation had always surrounded the nature of their relationship. Were they dating? Were they just friends? The public wanted answers, but Dylan and Shen were always careful, always private. But now, with his sister's emotional recounting, the puzzle pieces seemed to fall into place. The turning point came, she said, when Shen was linked to another actor, a co-star from a later project. He saw the photos, his sister recalled. They weren't just working together. It looked personal. And it broke him. "I remember walking into his room and finding him staring at his phone. He didn't even notice me come in. He was just lost." Despite the pain, Dylan never said a bad word about Shen. Not publicly. Not privately. Not even once. He never blamed her, she continued. He never got angry. He just got quiet. That's worse. Because that's how you know it really mattered. There were attempts to move on, of course. Dylan threw himself into work. New projects. Fashion campaigns. Traveling. Always smiling. Always composed. But those closest to him knew it was a mask. A cover for the emptiness he didn't know how to fill. It wasn't just about losing someone he cared for, his sister explained. It was about losing a future he had already imagined. He talked about working with her again. About traveling. About, maybe even something more. Yes, you heard that right. According to her, Dylan once confided that he could see a life with Shen beyond the spotlight. He said she made him feel normal. Not like a celebrity. Not like a product. Just a guy who could laugh, mess up, and be himself. And now? Now that dream is gone. Fans who followed their journey have noticed it too. The once playful social media posts? Gone. The subtle matching outfits? Gone. Even their interactions and interviews, once full of spark, are now cautious and professional. One fan commented, "It's like watching two people try to forget they were once everything to each other." But despite all this, Dylan remains respectful, graceful, quietly hurting but never bitter. That, perhaps, is what makes this story so heartbreaking. Because it's not about drama. It's about the silent kind of pain, the one that lingers when no one's watching. His sister's revelations didn't end there. She shared one final, heart-wrenching detail. "One night, I found him sitting on the balcony, just staring into the sky. I asked him if he was okay. And he said, 'I just wish I could go back. Just once. To the day we first met on set. Maybe I'd tell her then. Maybe things would have been different.' Can you imagine carrying that kind of regret? Not for what you did, but for what you didn't do." Fans across the world have reacted with an outpouring of support. Hashtags like #ProtectDylan and #DylanHeartbreak have trended, with many saying they had always felt there was more to the story. And now, they finally know. But the big question remains, did Shinyu ever know? According to his sister, she thinks, maybe not. He never told her everything. He thought it would be selfish. He wanted her to be happy, even if it wasn't with him. It's the kind of love that's rare. The kind that doesn't demand. That doesn't blame. That just is. We may never know Shinyu's side of the story. Maybe she felt the same. Maybe the timing was never right. Maybe she had her reasons. But what's clear now, painfully, unmistakably clear, is that Dylan Wang's heart was truly in it. And when it ended, a part of him shattered. What's next for Dylan? His sister says he's healing. Slowly. Day by day. He's focusing on himself. On growing. On learning. He's still the Dylan everyone loves, funny, humble, talented. But now, there's a little more depth to his smile. A little more strength in his silence. And perhaps, one day, when the wounds have faded into scars, and the memories no longer hurt, he'll find love again. But for now, the story remains a bittersweet reminder of what could have been. So here we are. A star with the world at his feet, and a heart that once belonged to a girl who smiled like summer. As fans, we often forget that behind the polished photos and perfect performances are real people, with real hearts that break just like ours. Dylan Wang, thank you for showing us that even in heartbreak, there is grace. And to the fans, keep believing in love. Even the kind that doesn't last forever. Because sometimes, it's those short-lived moments that teach us the most about who we are. If you felt even a fraction of this heartbreak, if you believe in real love stories, messy, beautiful, and painfully honest, hit that subscribe button now. Let's keep uncovering the untold truths behind the stars we adore. Because behind every actor is a human story. And this was Dylan Wang's